Alright. Yes, that's right, everybody. There's absolutely no need to adjust your PC screens or your phone screens or your tablet screens or whatever the hell you may be watching this off of. Reflection in a very nice pool of water. Your eyes are not deceiving you. This is indeed what's happening. I'm playing DDLC Literature Club again. Because remember that time I started this mod and then just stopped? Well, I thought, hey, let's go back to it. So anyway, game is here. I like it when game is here. So, yesterday I streamed The Walking Dead episode 3 in about as impromptu a moment as could possibly be. And because I wasn't alone for all of it, but because I was alone for most of it, it more or less became a moment of self-reflection. And in that moment of self-reflection, I came to the realization that streaming is one of my favorite things to do, but my life gets in the way a lot with how busy I am. So, you know, just know that if I'm gone for a long period of time, it's not because I don't like doing this. It's because I just have a bunch of other shit going on. I've been able to go live a lot more often as of recent, which is fantastic. But as we all know with me, is that can just go tits up in the blink of an eye. Also came to the realization that, man, when it comes to the entertainment business, you're pretty much owned by your fans, if you really think about it. If you want them coming back for more, it's about what the fans want, you know, it's about fan service. I mean, like, for God's sakes, you might as well bend me over a table and take me for a fucking ride, and I'm not gonna do shitting fuck about it, because I want you to come back for another stream. That's the reality of the entertainment business. Anyway, sorry I could not come yesterday. You streamed 5 a.m. and I did. Dude, it's okay. It's okay, man. Like, I know the time difference and all, but man, don't wake up at 5 a.m. on my account, bro. That's totally fine. But I'm gonna stop ranting now, and I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you. I have not the slightest clue where we left off in the last one. Like, absolutely zero clue where we left off. So, already 4 likes? That's right. One of them's me. I'm just kidding. You can't like your own videos. I've tried before just to see. It actually doesn't work. So, I guess technically I should have gone back and watched part 1 from like 3 weeks ago, so that I would remember where I was at, but I didn't. So, we're just gonna roll with it, okay? I take a deep breath, trying to calm my nerves before I went to Natsuki. What if she doesn't want to talk to me? Then again, she did seem to talk to Sayori and everyone else just fine. I slowly walk up to Natsuki, whose head is slumped down. She looks up at me, an annoyed look on her face. What do you want? It has been weeks since I have put these voices on. This is great. Also, a Doki shirt. If I could get a sponsorship by TeePublic about their Doki shirts, wouldn't that be badass? Her voice had a sour tone to it. In her eyes, I can still see redness, but it's mostly starting to fade. I fumble with my words. We, haven't exchanged poems yet. Oh, right. A pause. Sorry, it's just... She trails off. I try to move things along. Did you want to share? I understand if you don't want to. I try to sound comforting. No, it's fine. She opens up her pink binder to find her poem. She takes the stray sheet of paper out of the binder and hands it to me. I can't help but notice the slight shaking of her hand, reverberating onto the paper. What happened to her? I start to read her poem. Natsuki Tamura, they got last names. I forgot about that. A world of masks. A world of masks. Everyone has one, but nobody knows why. Blocking everyone out, but keeping everyone inside. Making it so hard to even try. A world of masks. It holds you close, blocking out all that you can feel. Fear distorting everything that is real. Making it so hard to love, to see, to trust. Why fight when our demons always pursue us? A world of masks. Too afraid to try, but the pain will always remain. Unable to escape from this terrifying domain. Suffering more, but hey, who would ever know? In this world of masks, nobody shares your sorrow. Nice poem. I like that. I read through the paper and then read it again. I can feel Natsuki's eyes on me, gauging for my reaction. When I finished reading it, I finally speak up. That sucked. That was amazing. Really? You mean it? Or are you just saying that? No, I really mean that. Your word usage is simple, but it goes a long way in describing the overall message. It was really deep, Natsuki. This is a really good poem. You should be proud of it. She looks at me. For a second, I think she might start crying again. Thank you, Slurp. That really does mean a lot. I can't help but feel a warmness spread across my body. She is really sweet. I frowned slightly, but it's certainly different from what you said you like to write. Happy things, you said? Custom pose. Oh, and she's upset. No. No, my wife can't be upset. We have to fix this. What do we do? She looked out the window, eyes focused on the koi pond. I know, but I just wanted to try something new is all. I didn't want my first poem to turn you off of me. Not like that! I blush a bit. I got you. I can see some symbolism here. I can guess the masks represent the fear of sharing your work with others, and being afraid of rejection by others. Natsuki sighs. Yeah, that's right. Dots. Silence follows. I try to pick things back up. Do you want to read my poem now? I hold the paper up in my hand. She nods silently. I hand her my poem and she starts to read. I watch her emotions on her face shift from boredom to investment and finally acceptance? I couldn't place that emotion. Dots. You wrote this? Yes. She flips my page over as if looking for some hidden clue. What is it? What's wrong? She flips it over again. Dots! It's good. Her voice seems to quiver. I don't understand. Did she not like it? Did she hate it? Did it scare her? My mind runs through a million different ideas. She seems to space out, thinking of something or someone. She gets up from her chair. Give me a second. Flustered, she turns to the closet and swings open the door. Hesitantly, I follow. Why would you follow if she said, give me a second? Whatever. The closet is much more spacious than I expected it to be. A small sink with a plug-in kettle sits, with wood shelves hanging above it. Facing it is a long row of shelves extending from 6 feet high, from wall to wall. A bit of stretch for me to reach the very top shelf, but Natsuki would definitely need help reaching anything up there. Various colored papers, folding, and books sit strewn about, some organized and some not. Natsuki hops up and down, trying to reach a pink cardboard book set. Help! I can't reach it! Help! I'm gonna stop now. She fails and curses. Adorably, I might add. Why does Monica always insist on moving my stuff? I point at the colorfully decorated box set sitting on the highest shelf. This what you wanted? Already too lewd? I'm so sorry. Yes, but I could have gotten it myself, you know. Sure you could have, I think, with a laugh. I carefully grab the set, surprisingly light in my hands. Be careful, I spent all the money I had on it, and I can't afford for it to get damaged by you or anyone. She practically snaps at me. Internally, I roll my eyes. She's acting like I'm gonna toss it out the window or something, which I totally am, but I'm not that reckless. Who does she take me for? Though I have to appreciate her care for her. Take a closer look at the box set. Manga? I accidentally say that aloud. Natsuki's face takes a wounded expression which morphs into distaste. Sorry if I enjoy stuff you don't like. Her voice rises at the last word. I put my hands up in an almost defensive posture. No, it's not that. I love reading manga, don't you remember? I think I mentioned it yesterday. Her face briefly takes a distant look, and then she lights up. Oh yeah! So yeah, I do like that then. It's just... I've always been laughed at for enjoying something people think is for children. I raise a finger out to the class. Even them? She gives a dismissive wave. They don't really care, but I think Yuri looks down on me for it. She thinks it's too... childish. While Natsuki was talking, I ran my fingers along the neatly organized, alphabetically placed book. Pull the first book out with my finger. I glance at the cover. At the top reads, Parfait Girls, in a stylish, bold text. 4 schoolgirls dressed in colorful attire striking animated poses adorns the cover. We all know what it's about. It looks like your average slice of life manga, the type I tend to stick away from in favor of my more adventurous reads, he means hentai. I flip it over and skim through the summary. It's kind of slow going at first, but things start to pick up by the end of the volume. After that, it gets really good. This is mostly just exposition, so you can get a feel for the characters. Natsuki's voice has completely shifted from a minute ago. She must really be passionate about this, I think to myself. I nod silently, start thumbing through the pages. The art style is what you'd expect from a female-oriented manga, and there's a certain appeal to the character designs that intrigues me. The way the characters are drawn in this half-chibi, half-realistic style has a certain charm to it. From across the room, Monica stands up. Alright! Hope everyone enjoyed chatting their poems with each other. How long has it been since I've done any of these voices? This actually feels kind of weird, if I do say so myself. It's 5 o'clock, so you're all free to leave, but be prepared for an announcement tomorrow about the festival. And with that, she starts to pack up her laptop. Yuri looks puzzled, but says nothing. I turn to see Sayori lingering by the closet entrance. Hey, Slurp. Ready to walk home? Sure, let's go. I say, starting to carefully tuck the book into my bag. Did we even ask if we could take it? Or is it just happening? As I start to leave, Natsuki grabs my sleeve and pulls me close. Listen, can you try reading some of it tonight so we can start reading together tomorrow? I guess so. Her voice is sweet and pure. I nod and start to turn away, but she pulls me closer. But I swear to God, if I find a single crease, wrinkle, or tear in my book... Her voice is quiet but menacing. I will end you. Oh, God, that face. I'm gonna take a photo of that. And we're gonna save that photo. Now we're gonna caption it. Oh boy, do I ever feel guilty about that photo. I'll put it in my Discord server right now for all of you to see. Memes. Oh, damn it. Hang on, give me a second. It didn't save. There we go. Just for all of you. In the memes section. Make sure you look in the memes section. There you go. Alright. For research purposes. Yeah, that's it. It's just research purposes. All I can do is laugh. Natsuki, it'll be in better condition than when you gave it to me. No, seriously, I'm gonna sit there for hours and scrub this shit. And with that, Sayori and I head out the door and make our way downstairs. What did you think of Natsuki's poem, Slurp? This is the poem writing music. Sayori asked me this out of the blue. We were about 2 blocks away from Sayori's house when she asked me. We had mostly been silent, with myself just scrolling through my phone. Couldn't help but notice that Sayori seemed to be distant. I think of a response to her question. I thought it was really good. There was a lot of imagery that made it stand out, and it definitely lured you to an unfamiliar place. A pause. What did you think of it? Oh, I thought that too. It actually put me into that world. Relatable. Suspicious dots. Wait, huh? Relatable? Sayori, what do you mean? I'm confused. Sayori gives me an odd look, then blushes. Oh, sorry. You've just unlocked live streaming. Huh? I've just unlocked live streaming, even though I've been doing it for... Shut up, YouTube. I meant to say remarkable. Yeah, it was very remarkable that she wrote something like that. She tends to keep her writing very flatlined. I give her an uncertain look, but ultimately shrug it off. Slurp, why do you always shrug shit off? Relapse Slurp didn't shrug shit off. Salvation Timid didn't shrug shit off. Why are you shrugging shit off? Honest mistake is all. Boo. I walk her to the front gate and wave goodbye before I turn and start my walk home. I absentmindedly scroll through my phone to pass the time. Before I know it, I'm at my front gate. I pull my house keys from my pocket and start to unlock the door when I notice a white letter sticking out of the door. I gingerly pull it out and open it. Must have been delivered after my parents left for work, I think to myself as I tear it open. Volunteer for the festival at Yamaku Academy. Hello, parents. It would be much appreciated if you would volunteer for the festival in the upcoming weeks. We need all the help we can get. Please contact Principal Hinata at the email hinata71 at yamakuacademy.edu. Thanks for your support. Monica Yamaku Academy student. That's not how you say her last name at all, but I don't care. I skimmed through it. It's an advertisement for the upcoming festival, written by Monica. It was aimed at parents who would like to volunteer. Nothing really interesting for me. There was also the same text on the other side of the message, translated into Japanese. Wait. Wouldn't the other side have to be translated into English? Because they're in Japan? Or are they in, like, the Caucasian area of Japan, if there is one? I could totally see that happening, seeing as Canada has a China area. So why not? This is why I like the world. The festival, I thought. I love the world, but I just don't love the way it makes me feel. Wonder what Monica's planning for me to do, if anything. I mean, I do ruin the atmosphere. I am a new member, but I'm sure there's still something I could do. Maybe help get the word out about the literature club, or help make decorations, or help Natsuki with baking. With that last thought, my heart beats just a tad faster. I unlock the door and push it open. As usual, there's something warm sitting on the stove when I enter the kitchen. As I place the letter on the table, I look down to the metal pot on the stove. Looks like gudyon with grilled vegetables mixed in. I probably just totally fucking demolished that pronunciation, but no one say anything. I open the fridge and dig out a Ramoon bottle from its box, taking it upstairs with me. Hashtag instant Ramoon. I get to my chair and set the soft drink on my desk, placing my bag on my chair. I pull out Natsuki's book from my bag and gently place it next to my soda. He's gonna spill it, isn't he? A Ramoon. A Ramoon. For a moment, I remember that I also have a poem to write for tomorrow. Could always just start writing after I finish, or do it at school. Or I could get through this and start working on the poem after. I crack the book open and start to read. Ow. Okay. Rain, rain, go away. Come again another day. Daddy wants to play. Rain, rain, go away. Rain, rain, go away. Come again another day. Wants to play. Rain, rain, go away. Rain, rain, go away. Come again another day. Wants to play. Rain, rain, go away. Rain, rain, go away. Come again. I think I'll be the first one to say it. What? That's okay. Wow, so deep. That was so deep. Chapter 4. Parfait Girl. Final bell. There's somebody in my house. The first few raindrops splattered against my face. Polite, wet kisses rolling down to my chin. Polite, wet kisses rolling down to my chin. It's a soft-core porno. I stepped away and glanced up, greeted to angry storm clouds swirling above, pushing away the once bright sun from earlier today. The sound of faint thunder echoed across the campus. I could see students glancing up in alarm and starting to rush away, hoping not to get caught in the storm. Within seconds, a steady rain shower was beating down on the campus. The rain dripped down in streams from the tin roofing of the breezeway. The cool air rushed against my face, a harmonic and refreshing feeling. I stood by the entrance to the foyer, protected under the metal roofing of the walkway. Good thing I have my umbrella, I thought, thinking back to the umbrella I had packed away in my bag this morning in preparation for a possible storm. Well, that's what the forecast said. I leaned against the wall for a moment, listening to the rain drum against the roof. I scrolled through my phone, finally getting to check the notifications that had built up in the 7 hours it was shut off. Another treacherous school day had finally ended, and I was ready for my second meeting with the literature club again. Second meeting again? With Miss Gojo being absent last period, it gave me time to fine-tune my poem. After working and reworking it, I finally felt it was adequate enough to finally show everyone. Shoved my phone in my pocket. Why did I say finally? That wasn't even there. Whatever. That's an awkward-looking shadow. Just saying. I mean, I appreciate they're making it look stormy out, but this one part on the wall right here is just kind of awkward-looking. As I stepped into the seniors building, a gust of wind swung the door open and practically slammed the door on my back. How bad is it going to get? I thought as I made my way up the stairs. I'm getting too into this, aren't I? I stepped into the classroom. The storm clouds have made the wall blurry in certain areas. Need to go eat, be back in 45 minutes? Okay, Raymond. It felt rather homely. Actually, I'm gonna be back in like 2 seconds. Just give me a second. 1 sec, right back. Okay? 1 second. Never fret. I'm back. Nobody missed me at all. It's okay. I looked around and saw Yuri sitting at her usual spot, nose deep in her ominous book. Sayori was at the desk, closest to the teacher, scrolling through her cherry red cased phone, white pair of headphones snaking up to her ears. Didn't seem like either noticed me enter. Tucked away in the back was Natsuki, worriedly looking at the rain lashing against the windows, her arms folded against her chest. I could see a cluster of papers sitting on her desk with a binder opened up. Is it her poem? Monica was noticeably absent. I cleared my throat. Hey, where's Sayori's face snapped up at the sound of my voice. She slammed her phone down on her desk. Slurp! You're here! She got up and dashed over to embrace me. I gingerly returned the hug. Is she gonna do that every time I show up? It's almost embarrassing. Dots. Whatever. From the back of the room, I could see Natsuki longingly staring at me. We locked eyes. Natsuki quickly looks away, a trace of red outlining her cheeks. It's good to see you again, Slurp. Glad to see you're holding up your promise to the club. Yuri was at her usual spot by the door, glancing up from her Portrait of Markov book to address me. Speaking of Yuri's book of choice, I did some light research on it, and it turns out the plot is very dark. Hashtag Dr. Dark. Hashtag Shattered Worlds. Much darker than I expected. To sum it up, it's about a high-ranking Nazi medical officer. After World War II, the official went into hiding and kidnapped various Jews to torture and experiment as a sort of demented coping mechanism for Adolf Hitler's defeat. That's probably the most vivid description we've ever gotten about Portrait of Markov. Holy crap! Door! Close, damn you! I spoiled it for myself a bit, and in the end, the official gets what's coming to him by the means of execution, with the story ending on a happy note, if you can even call it that. The reviews I read did say the book makes you reflect over the crimes against humanity of the Jews and other groups suffered at the hands of the Nazis during the war. Now, what does this say about Yuri's personality? Hell if I know, bro. Nothing, I guess. Hang on, the GF is texting. Much like a text from a parent, you never ignore the GF. After all, she did say she was interested in psychological elements and all that, so a book like The Portrait of Markov would be right up her alley. Still, that doesn't mean it's kinda fucked up. Wait, that doesn't mean it's kind of fucked up? So it's not fucked up? I think what you meant to say, that doesn't mean it's still not fucked up. There you go. Wonder what the other books you mentioned is like. I heard a flurry of footsteps outside the hallway, and a few beats later, Monica stepped through the door, the ribbons in her hair slightly disheveled. Sorry I'm late, everyone. Hope I didn't keep you all waiting. Her voice sounded rushed and panicked. In her hands, I could see what looked like the music sheets for an instrument. Wonder what she was doing. No way she was practicing an instrument. Hello, Monica. We were wondering where you were. Yuri gets up from her seat to lean against her desk. From the back of the room, I saw Natsuki walk over to join our circle next to Sayori. Sayori giggled. I guess you decided the club was more important than your boyfriend after all. Monica looked up from her bag and blushed beet red, clearly embarrassed by the notion. Can we just appreciate that Monica face for a second? Just look at this. Oh my god. That is just great. Boyfriend? What are you talking about, Sayori? Well, what else would have made you so late? Were you just caught up in the crowd, or were you too busy? She makes a kissing gesture with her hands. Getting busy. I screenshot Monica's face. I took a photo of her face, too. That was just beautiful. Sayori burst into laughter, Natsuki sharing the laugh. Yuri just smiled, but I couldn't help but grin a little too. Oh my god, she's doing it again! She's making the face again. It's kind of like... Oh my god, that is like the perfect face. Monika shot her a look, her voice now laced with annoyance. Well, if you must know, I was in study hall for my last period and just lost track of time, that's all. No boyfriend. Natsuki looked confused. That doesn't make any sense. You would have heard the bell at least. Monika gives a dismissive wave. Well, I was in the band building working on my piano skills, and the bells in there aren't as loud as the ones on the rest of the campus. I didn't even know the bell had rung until one of the directors told me it had. Sayori's face lit up. You play the piano? I had no idea. Well, I've only just started recently. I've been having private lessons at home, but I've gotten permission from the orchestra directors to use their piano here to practice with during school. I think they think me using their piano means that I want to join the club. But joining them would mean not having time for you all, so don't get too worried. There was a warm smile on Monika's face. There's something about that smile that puts me at ease. It's almost entrancing. Still, that's so cool. You have to play something for us sometime. Genuine happiness traces in Sayori's voice. Monika gives an airy laugh. Well, I wouldn't call myself an expert, but I am in the process of writing a song that I'm trying to get done before the festa... Monika stopped and muttered something. Sayori gasped and slapped her hand on her cheeks. You're gonna play at the festival? It's amazing! Ah! Monika smiled, appreciating the genuine praise. Yes, thought that a song for the school to hear would really set us apart from the rest of the club's events. A sweet, rememberable song will show everyone how creative and fun our club can be for them. I've been working on the song since last week, and I'm very close to finishing it. I spoke up. I think I can speak for anyone when I say I'd love to hear a snippet of it before the festival. Unless you want to keep it a surprise, that is. Monika sat down in the teacher's chair. I should have it done by at least Sunday. I'll play a portion of it for you before the festival Monday morning if you come in early. Yeah, Elias, hello! Too bad the stream's literally ending right now. I'm joking. I'm joking. I wouldn't do that to you. I wouldn't do that to you. I'm joking. She paused. But just the music, though. No lyrics. That's gonna be the big surprise. Monika clapped her hands together. Well, let's get down to it. Time to share poems, everyone. The Bottles poem, yes. Sarah's poem was a little more meaty than her first, with an actual narrative to it. To summarize, it was about a girl whose mind was a collection of bottles with her happy thoughts. Oh shit, there's not supposed to be an O in thoughts or an A in happy. They have to be X's. She wrote that a lot, being sorted in the bottles of her head. With fluffy kittens and balls of sunshine galore. Sorry, it's pain in my back there. It was oozing with cuteness, but the words were almost reminded me of something of Yuri. Almost reminded me of something Yuri would write, or read, in terms of vocabulary. But it was much brighter in tone. Was it, though? I set the paper down on her desk, pushing it back to her. What did you think? She's not hiding her excitement to hear my thoughts. I took a breath. It was very emotional. I think that's the right word. There was a lot of symbolism in it. I waved my hand, trying to grasp my meaning. It was good, is what I'm trying to say. Christ. Could I have said that any more awkwardly? Sayori adjusted the bow in her hair. I know exactly what you mean. Thank you, Slurm. Your thoughts mean a lot to me. She pointed at my notebook. Can I read yours now? I silently handed her my paper. So cute. I know, right? Sayori snatched the paper from my hand and started to analyze it. But as she read it, I couldn't help but feel there was something off about her today. Made no sense considering her bubbly spirit today, and she looked as normal as ever with her lazily unbuttoned blazer. Ah, crap! What the fuck? Oh, Marcos. But why was it so loud, though? Holy shit! I muted that shit! Why is it still so loud? Oh, Christ! Also, Marcos, thank you very much for the subscription, but... Ow. My heart. I'm gonna have to find a way to... Wait a minute. Who are you? What do you mean, who am I? Wait, what? What? I couldn't quite place it. It was like someone else was piloting... I'm confused. I'm confused too. What was this with the who are you? What? It was like someone else was piloting her body and mind, even though she acted like her usual happy self. After she gave me her thoughts on my writing, her critiques just as sparkling and overjoyed as her last one, I dared to ask the question. Sayori, is everything alright? You seem... disconnected. Are you feeling well? Of course. Dinobot here. I'm at work, so I can't really participate, but I thought I'd drop in and say hi. Hello, Dinobot. So great to have you here, man. How the hell have you been? Hopefully the answer is good. Why, is something wrong? There's a look of worry on Sayori's face. I shook my head. No, everything's fine. It's just... I don't know. You seem out of it. Did you wake up late again today? Got that iPhone! That product placement! Sayori got that iPhone! Sayori glanced down at her phone. I think she got a message, but I couldn't read her screen at all. Then back to me. Her eyes parted. Okay, we gotta take a photo of this, too, because this is great. I know, right? Yeah. I sigh. Sayori... She cut me off. I'm sorry, my alarm clock stopped working last night and it didn't wake me up on time. I got here as soon as I could, right after I ate breakfast. She laughed awkwardly, doing that cute little finger tap again. Thought about what she said for a moment. Is she lying? It's kind of hard to tell. How many chapters does this mod have? It's supposed to be up to chapter 10. Yeah, it's supposed to be up to chapter 10 right now. Even if she is telling the truth, something needs to be done about her constant tardiness. There's nothing more embarrassing than losing credits just because you couldn't be bothered to show up on time. What does it say about your character? Tell you what, how about instead of just us walking to school together, I wake you up on time as well. I could give you a wake-up call every morning and tell you to get up, and I'll wait for you outside. Sayori gave me a quizzical look as if I just told her I had a time-traveling DeLorean. Nice reference. After a beat, her face changed expressions. I'd love that. It would keep me on my toes. Unless it's too much trouble for you. I gave her a dismissive wave. It's no trouble. I always get up early in the mornings anyway, and I'd do anything for a friend. Sarah reached over from her seat and pulled me into a tight hug, which felt nice, but holy shit, her head is maybe just a little too close to my... I chuckled a bit and broke off the hug. Monica gave me an odd look. She then laughed and turned off her laptop. Yuri and Noski didn't notice, I hope. I thanked Sayori for her critique and took my paper back. I turned on my heel and took a deep breath. Great to see you again, Slurp. Ready to share poems? The Lady Who Knows Everything. An old tale tells of a lady who wanders Earth. The lady who knows everything. A beautiful lady who has found every answer, all meaning, all purpose, all that was ever sought. And here I am. A feather. lost adrift the sky, victim of the currents of the wind. Day after day I search. I search with little hope, knowing legends don't exist. But when all else has failed me, when all others have turned away, the legend is all that remains, the last dim star glimmering in the twilight sky. Until one day, the wind ceases to blow. I fall, and I fall and fall, and fall even more, gentle as a feather, a dry quill expressionless. But a hand catches me between the thumb and forefinger, the hand of a beautiful lady. I look at her eyes and find no end to her gaze. The lady who knows everything knows what I am thinking. Before I can speak, she responds in a hollow voice. I have found every answer, all of which amount to nothing. There is no meaning, there is no purpose, and we seek only the impossible. I am not your legend. Your legend does not exist. And with a breath, she blows me back afloat, and I pick up a gust of wind. That's depressing. Monica's poem was again both abstract and also definite at the same time. Gentleman's sword. That's right. She was hugging me a little too close to my gentleman's sword. It was about a woman who knew everything and wandered the earth, silent with her so-called expertise of the universe. It ended on a rather mystical note, with the woman declaring that there is no meaning to life, and that it in of itself meant nothing. It was very wispy? That's the word that came to my mind. I set the paper down and saw Monica's beautiful emerald eyes watching me. Monica, you are a man-horse, Slurp. What did you think? I'm all ears. It was good. I especially enjoyed that sort of twist ending with the woman revealing the true meaning of life and whatnot. Very nice. Monica's smile persisted. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I was hoping the ending would have some sort of effect on the reader, having it built up like the true meaning was something powerful, but ultimately it was nothing. She pointed at the paper clutched in my hand. Yours is probably better, though. I handed her my paper. Monica started to read it, her smile unfading. A minute later, she handed it back to me. Thought it was good. It's very unique, and you weren't afraid to discuss generally untouched territory, with its overall theme. You should be proud of it, Slump. I was slightly taken aback that someone like Monica seemingly enjoyed the poem, unless it was fake praise, a real possibility. She is supposed to make everyone happy, after all. Really? To be honest, I'm not very happy with it. Oh? Why not? My mind flashed back to last night with the first Parfait Girls volume and how I had spent almost half the night reading it and then doing some follow-up background research on it. When I realized it was almost 2 a.m., I ended up rushing out a poem and going to bed. So it was a good thing I had that free time last period to do some heavily needed adjustments to it. I was distracted, mostly. I couldn't really think clearly. I think that my poem isn't as organized as it could be. I barely managed to say this. Monica paused, soaking in my comment. She collected her thoughts, her finger tracing the edge of her silver laptop. Well, consider this another writing tip of the day. When you're writing, the outside world can often be a distraction. Internet, phones, all that. Your mind is always looking for a way to do something more fun. My advice? To make her point, she pushed her laptop away. Shut anything electronic off and focus only on your writing. And only take a break when you have something written down on that paper. If you constantly take breaks, you'll never write the end. Just like her last writing tip, Monica's advice was extremely helpful. I should probably use that advice with tonight's poem. Maybe. Thank you, Monica. That's really helpful. My voice was earnest and appreciative. Monica gave me a sweet smile. No problem. As club president, it's my job to help everyone. Always remember that you can come to me for advice on anything, and not just about literature. I'm always here for guidance if you need it. I thanked Monica for her critique and honest advice, and picked up my paper and headed for the next person with a smile on my face. And Ghost Under the Light Part 2, yep, we know this one. Yuri's poem, like her first, was dripping with symbolism from beginning to end. This time it was about being trapped in a nightmare, where you're pursued by faceless demons, and you wake up to realize they're not real. At least, not in the way they are depicted. Very metaphorical and applicable to real life. At least that was my interpretation of it. What did you think, Slurp? Glanced down at the paper again. It was nice. I liked how the message could be applied to real life, but with the demons representing people you think are nice, but are actually someone else. Yuri gave me a lighthearted smile. I'm glad you enjoyed it. That isn't exactly what I had in mind when I was writing it, but it's fairly close. Is this what's gonna happen every time we share work? I think in the back of my head. I give Yuri my honest thoughts about her work, and she tells me it's not what she was thinking of. When am I ever gonna get it right in her eyes? I hold my paper up. Would you like to read mine? I'd be delighted to. Yuri gently takes my paper. Her eyes started to quickly skim the paper, trailing down to the bottom. I peeked at my phone while I was waiting and quickly put it away when Yuri looked up. Yuri picked up her ballpoint pen and tapped it against her lip, staring down at the paper, lost in thought. What was she thinking? She picked up the paper and looked through it again, still tapping her pen. Dots. 20 seconds or so passed in absolute silence. I couldn't stand it anymore. Yes? I said, uncertain. Yuri was surprisingly blunt. It has a very good concept, but it does leave a lot to be desired from me. For instance, you could have used some of the more stronger and emotional vocabulary at the part describing the environment, as these words fall flat and seem boring. Also, the ending, well left to be open-ending, would have worked better if you left a definitive answer. So much for being delighted to read it, I thought sarcastically. Yuri continued to drone on, talking about metaphors and word usage and other interesting, non-interesting things. As much as I didn't want to admit it, Yuri was beginning to bore me just a tad. Not that I was intentionally ignoring or trying to disrespect her, but I was just eager to share my poem with Natsuki, and spend more time with her. As much as I appreciate criticism, there can be too much from a good thing, right? I felt myself starting to drift off as I shifted in my spot at the desk in front of Yuri's. I glanced over to Sayori, busy sharing her poem with Monika. Sayori sat turned at her desk while Monika leaned against the wall. Given that it was just 5 of us and the air conditioner was off, it was fairly easy to hear their conversation. They weren't talking about poems. They were talking about something else. I'm just worried we won't be able to compare to everyone else's events. We do have a lot of good things going for us, but what does everyone else have going for them? Her voice slightly quivered. Monika sounded indifferent. What's there to worry about? We're gonna give it our all and do our best. Even if we don't get a single new member, at least we can say we tried. Sayori reluctantly agreed. Alright, I gotta bounce. Catch you later. Alright, Dinobot, thanks for coming out, man. Appreciate it. Pause. Slurm still hasn't been told what his role in the festival is yet. I shifted in my seat, now all ears. Another pause. I was gonna tell him to pick who he wanted to work with tomorrow after the meeting. Any one of us could use an extra set of hands. He's probably gonna pick Natsuki. Her job is the most exciting. I couldn't help but notice her voice was a bit more quiet now, like she didn't want her to hear. Did she notice I was eavesdropping? What makes you say that? Oh, it's just a feeling. I don't mind if I... Wouldn't you agree, Slurp? My mind snapped back to reality. Oh shit, what was she saying? Should have kept an ear open for her. I nod politely. Absolutely. She smiled. Thank you. I'm glad you agree. Stood up and thanked Yuri, even though I may have just sold my soul to her without knowing. I looked across the room and saw Natsuki sitting alone. I felt a pang of sadness. Why is she always the one seemingly left out? Time to fix that. Natsuki was back to looking out the window, watching the sheets of rain patter against the window panes. I cleared my throat, and she looked up at me. Hey! She pushed a loose strand of her pink hair behind her ear. I sat down on the desk in front of her. We haven't shared poems yet. My finger tapped against my paper. Natsuki opened her binder and unclipped the clean sheet of paper, handing it to me. I took her poem and started to read. Another new poem. Alone. Endless numbers of people. Lines and rows of faces everywhere. We see so many and meet a lot, but only a handful care. How can we be utterly crowded? How can we be surrounded by people every day, everywhere, and still be so alone? That's sad, man. I rubbed a fleck of dirt from my eyes and handed the paper back to her. You mean you cried a little? Well, that was great. It was short, but it had a lot of... I made a fist and shook it. Power to it, you know? Natsuki flinched at my fist, which made me pause for a moment. Did she think I was gonna hit her? Oh, no. Oh, no. We all know what this is. I could never, and would never do that to her. Or any girl, for that matter. I should apologize. Oh, sorry. Natsuki glanced away from me. It's okay, it's not your fault. Thanks for saying that. Dots. An awkward silence. Why the hell is it always me who makes things so weird? I shifted in my spot. Did you want to read mine now? I held my paper out to her. Natsuki took the paper and starts to read, sitting up in her seat. I lean by the desk next to her and wait, my eyes drifting to the windows. The rain still drummed against the windows, but it seemed more muted than earlier. Hopefully it'll clear up by the time the club ends, I think to myself. Dots. A minute passes. She has to have it at least read twice by now. It's not like I wrote a novel or something. It was only 8 lines. Natsuki keeps staring at the paper, her eyes going up and down the paper. What is she looking for? Dots. She finally clears her throat. No, it's... I give her a confused look. It's what? Her feisty demeanor returned. Why can't you just suck at writing? My poems were supposed to impress you, not the other way around. She almost yells this. Dots. Wait, what? You wanted to impress me? Natsuki blushed, a color so deep it almost matched her hair clip. Well... She reaffirms her voice. And what, let Yuri wow you more than me? Obviously I'm trying to impress you. I paused, trying to find my bearings. She's trying to impress me. But wait, what's wrong with trying to impress you then? Nothing, She looks back at my paper, as if anything has changed in the 1 minute she read it. The paper slid from her fingers, gently floating to the ground. She quickly stood up from her desk. I need some water! Natsuki declared and quickly walked out of the room. Lovely Nat. My wife, bro. Yuri and Sayori glanced up in confusion. Monika's eyes follow Natsuki out the door and glances in my direction. She closes her laptop, gets up from her spot at the teacher's desk, and starts to walk towards me. Oh, shit. I think. Slump, is everything okay? What happened? I start to sweat. What the hell am I supposed to say? I don't even know. We were just talking about our poems, and she got really embarrassed for some reason. My voice trailed off, getting quieter with every word. Monika bent down to pick up the fallen paper and dusted it off with her hand. Maybe she was just nervous around you is all. I paused. Nervous? Monika shrugged. Well, you are the first boy in our club after all. Maybe she was just nervous about... A hand reaches out and snatches the paper from Monika. You shouldn't mess with things that weren't meant for you, you know. You have an awfully bad habit of doing that. Natsuki barked at her club president. Neither of us noticed her enter. Oh, sorry. I didn't know Slimp wrote it just for you. Oh, that wink, though. We got that wink, though. That's not what I meant. You know what I meant. Monika paused, thinking about something. Wait, what did you mean by, I have a bad habit of doing that? Monika's smile is now gone. Like my manga said, why do you keep messing with it? Natsuki retorted, voice still laced with annoyance. Monika pauses. You think I'm doing it just to mess with you? The teacher specifically asked me to move them to make room for her materials. This isn't just our club room, you know. Natsuki stammers, once again beat. She didn't have a defense. Well, just tell me where you put it next time. Last time it wasn't even in the closet. It was all the way up there, out in the open, where people could just touch it and mess with it. Monika sighed. I only do what the teacher says. She told me to put it there. Sorry for not telling you in advance, but I do what she says. Natsuki scoffed and gave her a dismissive wave. Monika just smiled. She walked away, leaving me and Natsuki alone. Natsuki gave a huff and looked at me. And what about you? Do you have my manga? My mind snaps back to the Parfait Girls, a surprisingly good read despite it being mostly filler. Natsuki was right. Oh, right. I start to reach into my bag. I pull out the book and start to hand it to her. I pull out the book and hand it to her. Natsuki quickly takes the book and flips through the pages looking for tears. She shuts it and flips it over. She squints at it. Wait, did you clean it? It looks... Oh my god, actually? That was just a joke I made earlier that we were just gonna polish the shit out of it. He actually did? Okay. I gave a slight grin. I said it would be in better shape than when he gave it to me, didn't I? I always keep true to my word. Natsuki blushes. You didn't have to do that, you know. I gave a wave. Oh, don't worry about it. Just wanted to show my appreciation for you loaning it to me. Natsuki smiled, showing off her adorable little fang. Now, did you want to start reading the next one today, or... Her face lights up. Oh, yes! Come with me! She grabs my hand and pulls me into the closet. It is a softcore porno. Nice pants. Natsuki quickly looks around, but becomes almost disoriented. Where is it? I hear her mutter this before she looks up at the top shelf, and there, sitting next to a stack of textbooks, was the Parfait Girls box set. She curses. Seriously, Monica, at the very top? Her yell echoes to the rest of the class. There was a pause. I didn't put it there, Monica replied with a slight giggle. Natsuki growled and tapped her foot angrily. She looked around, opening the cabinet. She sighed and slammed it shut. Natsuki looked at me and walked out of the closet. I lingered by the door, watching her. What is she doing? Oh, Josh, you poor soul. What is she doing? Hopping across the room, Natsuki walked to the teacher's desk and grabbed the leather chair and quickly started to push it across the room to the closet. From their spot by the class door, Yuri and Monica humorously watched her roll the chair across but said nothing. Sayori didn't seem to notice, her focus on eating what looked like a cookie. I raised a hand up. Natsuki, this is too dangerous. Just let me get them. I reached a hand to the shelf to grab them, and Natsuki quickly slapped it away. I can get them myself! She pushes the chair into place and wobbly started to climb it, clutching the shelf for support. She turns and looks at me. Well, don't just stand there, help me! Women. She pointed down to the armrests on the chair. Hold it in place while I grab the set. Natsuki, I can get it down for you. You don't have to. I can do this myself. I don't need help. That's why I'm holding the chair for you, right? Why the hell are girls always this complicated? I sigh as I got a better grip on the armrests. Natsuki tiptoed as she tried to grab the box set, grabbing the lower shelves to not fall over. I glanced up. Holy shit. No, 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 no. Oh, not looking. No, 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 no. Natsuki's legs wobbled as she shifted on her feet to get a better standing on the chair. Reaching forward, she grabbed the manga box set with both hands and lifted it above her head. Got it! Her voice was triumphant. The momentum of her lifting the box caused her to lean back. Natsuki! The girl yelped as she struggled to find her footing. Gravity ultimately won and the pink-haired girl lost her... Oh boy. The girl fell into my arms as I tried to break her fall. I fell back first on the floor and tried to shield her with my body. The books landed and slid around us. I opened my eyes. Our noses were almost touching. Look at these books just sitting there. Our noses were almost touching. I quickly reeled back and stood up, dusting myself off. I extended an arm to help her up. She started to sob. She sat on the ground and pulled up her sleeve. I looked at the arm and saw an ugly-looking bruise about the width of an orange start to form. Discolored shades of purple, green, and puke yellow started to... Holy crap! I don't think that had just happened from, like, that instantly. Oh, Christ. Oh my god, are you okay? Let me take a look. Before I could finish, Monica hastily rushed up to us with Sayori and Yuri trailing behind. What the hell happened? I'm sorry, that's just fucking awkward. She's just... What happened? That's just awkward, man. Monica instantly saw the bruise and gasped. Oh my god, Natsuki! Her voice was slightly panicked, but I could tell she was trying to keep a calm tone. Monica helped Natsuki up, her voice sweet and calming. Come on, baby, let's get you cleaned up. She looked at Sayori and Yuri, both standing awkwardly with a few feet away, unsure of what to do. She made a nodding gesture, and the two girls followed behind their club president. It's okay, Monica kept repeating, rubbing Natsuki's hair, trying to calm her down like a parent would a crying child. Monica looked down on me. Slump, please be so kind as to clean. She made a gesture to the fallen books. This up. And with that, the four girls walked out of the club room, leaving me lost and confused. I didn't look up to check, but I sensed that someone had lingered by the door, giving me a judgmental look before leaving. Probably Yuri. Or Natsuki herself. This is it, I thought. This is what ruins my standing with these girls. Yuri, Natsuki, Monica, hell, probably Sayori thinks I'm some sort of monster now. God damn it! Anger washed over me, loathing myself. So much for trying to make friends, Slurp. How the hell does anyone recover from this? Might as well not bother showing up tomorrow. I looked down at the scattered books spread out across the floor. I sighed and started to pick them up one by one, placing them in a stack on one of the desk seats. I grabbed one of the... Hang on. There we go. I grabbed one of the books. Volume 2. Oh, hey, Raymond. You're back for the last 10 minutes before I move into the second stream. That's right, I'm doing 2 streams. The one I was supposed to read next, and flipped it over. Oh, no. The book's cover was bent at an odd angle, with a laminated plastic now bent white at the crease line. I gingerly tried to bend it back into place, but it started to crack. If Natsuki is as crazy as she seems about the condition of her books, she's gonna be so pissed. Well, what are you gonna do in the second stream? Episode 4 of The Walking Dead. Because, I don't know if you had a chance to watch episode 3. It wasn't as chaotic as episode 2, but it was very sad. And there were a couple what the fuck moments. So episode 4 is coming up after this. My mind raced. What do I do? They'll be back any minute! I zipped open my bag and carefully placed the book inside, pushing aside a few papers and folders to make room for it. I hastily zipped it up just as the door clicked open and the 3 girls entered. Natsuki's uniform sleeve and bit. 3 girls? Who's missing? Natsuki's sleeve had a slight bulge in it. It was probably an ice pack secured with a gauze. Yuri and Sayori were talking to Natsuki, but I couldn't make out what they were saying. I felt awful. Monica walked up to me. Slamp? Do you think you and I could have a private chat for a sec? This is really it, I thought. This is her telling me not to come to the meeting tomorrow. God damn it, God damn it! Sure. My voice sounded weak. Monica gave me a weak smile and started to walk to the door. I held my head down slightly, like a dog punished for peeing on the carpet. I didn't check, but it felt like 3 sets of eyes were staring at me, none of them thinking happy thoughts. Monica and I stepped outside. I glanced at the window of the hallway, facing towards a parking lot, and further beyond the town of Ichikawa. The rain seemed to die down a tad, but light sheets of rain still drummed against the windows. The door clicked shut. Monica, I can explain. Monica raised a hand up to silence me. There's no need. Natsuki explained everything. She was just trying to get a manga, and she fell. You tried to cushion a fall. Just an accident. Is she alright? For the most part. Just that bruise she got from the fall. Yuri wrapped it up as best as she could. It should do until she gets home. But it did look painful. Ah, Jesus. I turned to face the window and ran my fingers through my hair. It's not your fault, Slamp. It was an accident. These things happen. She put her hand on my shoulder. Listen, you're not in trouble. But I do think you should talk to Natsuki and say... something. It'd be very awkward if you don't. I sighed. Okay? Just don't worry about it. I don't hate you. Yuri and Sayori understand it was an accident. Just don't worry. Everything's fine. She opened the classroom door and I followed behind her. Monica clapped her hands together, trying to take control of the still awkward situation. Does anyone else here think that Doki Doki Literature Club, if it was just a normal VN game and not like, you know, the psychological shit it turned out to be, does anyone else here think it could have worked as a Telltale game? Like, if you throw some of the supernatural elements in there, but, like, not to the extent that... I think it could have. Alright, everyone, I think we can call that a day. Now, I want everyone to write at least one good poem before we start working on the festival. Okay? Good? Good. Sure, yeah, I could see that. Yuri grabbed her bag, waved goodbye to us, and walked out of the door, once again reading her Portrait of Markov book. Monica walked over to the teacher's desk and started to pack up her things. She looked up at me and shifted her eyes to Natsuki. I knew what that meant. I knew that meant. I knew that meant. Go talk to her. Sayori walked up to me, a smile on her face. Hey, did you still want to walk home? I have an umbrella we can share. Goddamn headphone. There we go. I have an umbrella we could share. She held up her polka-dotted umbrella. Just hang on a second. I put a hand on her shoulder and walked to where Natsuki is. Natsuki? Surprised, she turned around to face me. Her face has had a dreadful expression, like she knew this conversation was gonna happen. I felt 10 times worse now for forcing this on her. I fumbled with my words. Could we talk in private for a minute? Like, downstairs or somewhere? I nervously tapped my fingers together, almost like how Sayori does. Natsuki shifted on her feet. Sure. She and I both walked out the door. The rain still continued, but it didn't seem as bad as it was earlier. Natsuki and I both watched the rain fall against the windows of the exit door. Dots. I coughed. Natsuki, I was unsure of what I wanted to say. I'm truly sorry about what happened back there. I didn't mean for it. Natsuki waved her hand. You don't need to apologize. It's not your fault. I should have just let you get the stupid books. My mind crawled back to the damaged book, and I felt a shiver run up my spine. I had to tell her, no matter how she reacts or if she blames me. I took my bag off my shoulder and unzipped it, reaching for the damaged book. I pulled it out and showed it to her, the cover facing her. I know you don't want to hear this, but it would be wrong to not tell you. One of the books got damaged. I tried to get the fold out, but it didn't fully come out. I'm sorry. Natsuki gave a light gasp, and I could see tears starting to swell in her eyes. She turned away, covering her face with her hands. Oh no, look, I'm really sorry. She cut me off, her voice choking. It's not that. Tears were tangling her voice like barbed wire. Natsuki. It's just, things are really hard for me right now, and you've been so nice to me, and I've been nothing but rude to you, and... I turned to her and embraced her, my arms wrapping around her. I gently stroked her hair, trying to soothe her like Monica did. Natsuki, it's okay. I understand. You're going through some stuff and you don't have anywhere to vent. My eyes were now level with hers. Those beautiful pink eyes started into mine, you mean stared, and I felt my heart rate speed up. I just wanted to say that. I'm here for you if you need someone to talk to. I know it's only been a few days, but I do care for you and want to see you happy. F for Natsuki. No, hugs for my wife. Hugs for Natsuki. No Fs, Raymond. Natsuki wiped the tears from her eyes, sniffling. But, in the meantime, I reached for my wallet and opened it up. I took out a slightly crinkled 2,000 yen note, equivalent to $20, and handed a hug and an F. No! No Fs! Raymond, no Fs! For a replacement copy. Natsuki seemed taken aback, staring at the note. Slurp, you really don't have to. I pushed the note into her hands, closing them on the note. For a moment, our hands were almost intertwined. I insist. Don't worry about paying me back. It's on me. I say as I pull my hands away. For a moment, I thought she might start crying again. Then, without warning, Natsuki embraced me in a tight hug, her arms wrapping around my chest. Thank you. I hear her mumble this through my blazer, voice muffled through my shirt. She released me, but I felt the sensation of her warmth still clinging to me. I never wanted to let her go. Aw. Well, now that you have the next volume, you can start reading it. If you want to. I smiled. It'll be the first thing I do when I get home. A smile returned to her face. And then we can read the next one together tomorrow? H being a D. My heart pounded in my chest. Can't wait. Feel like I'm trying too hard to sound as relaxed as possible. Okay. She shifted her feet. You can go now if you want. I was gonna wait for the rain to stop. Why? Could be hours before that happens. I forgot my umbrella. I dug into my bag and pulled out the umbrella I had packed away. I handed it to her. Natsuki stared at the umbrella and gently took it in her small hand. And is holding it like a sword. She looked up at me. Don't worry about it. Just bring it back tomorrow. I will. Her voice was now quiet. I smiled, feeling much better about myself now. Okay, bye. She waved and went to open the door. I could hear the rain outside now, the sweet smell of condensation flushing in. And with that, she turned to face the storm. Everything in my mind screamed, walk her home, you fucking idiot, make her feel safe. But I knew Sayori was already waiting for me to walk her home upstairs, and I couldn't just leave her hanging like that. Stop with the hanging puns, you bastard! Maybe I can walk her home tomorrow, but not today. As I watched Natsuki step out into the rain, in the back of my mind, the perfect idea for a poem started to bloom. Chapter 5. Poems are forever. And that's the perfect spot to end it. Well, that was fun, wasn't it? So this is getting interesting. Chapter 5. So we just hit the halfway point. So I'm not gonna lie to you people. I don't know when we're gonna continue that one, but we're going to. As soon as I can, I'm going to continue it. But we're not done today, because while this stream ends, another one immediately begins, because I am moving to The Walking Dead to do episode 4 of season 1. So if you're already here watching, make sure you don't go anywhere, because we're doing that right now, immediately. Don't you dare go anywhere, okay? We'll be right back as soon as I change the title, thumbnails, and all that other shit. See you guys soon.